It's almost noon. Um, it's been sort of a day. The air conditioning people are here. When I walked downstairs this morning, I was like instantly sweating the moment I hit the bottom of the stairs. And we already had this planned for today because they go and they service my parents' units, ours, and then my sister's all in one go. Um, And so they were already coming today, and it's lucky they were because apparently something on our compressor for our downstairs unit is faulty. Um, it was 75 degrees Fahrenheit on our main level, and downstairs where my husband works, so it was gross. The upstairs unit works just fine and is cooling just fine, but yeah, the one that cools the part that we are in most of the day is not fine. So there's that. I've read one chapter in Upright Women Wanted and nothing else. So that's how my day's going. Well, it's been a day. I think I might have already said that exact phrase, but I had two choices. I could stay downstairs where it's 75 degrees, or I could come upstairs where it's frigid and be in under blankets. So I chose to be under blankets. I've done little to no reading today. I did read the chapters in Upright Women Wanted. Grayson was a little bit fussy today. He wasn't as bad as he was yesterday. I think he might be going through a growth spurt. It would track with kind of like what I've read for timelines for that. Which, geez Louise, my baby keeps growing. Like, he'll be 3 months old on Saturday, and he's wearing 6-month onesies. So, if he keeps growing, I mean, obviously he's going to keep growing, but, like, if he keeps growing at the rate he's been growing, like, oh my god. I just don't even know what clothes to buy for him, because between who knows what, do we even get winter here anymore? And then the fact that he just is such a big baby, like, I have no idea what clothes to buy him, so that's fun. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I am going to read now. I'm going to spend the next hour reading, and then I'm going to go to sleep, and hopefully he will do what he did this weekend and sleep through the night. I just read like, I don't know, 10 pages or something in this and realized that like the last 50 pages of this, which is what I have to read, are all poems about death. So if you thought I wasn't enjoying it before, I'm certainly not enjoying it now. I should DNF this. I really should. Why am I so stubborn? Well, it's 8:30. I stopped reading Emily Dickinson's collection of death, and I read a chapter in this, which was so tense. Like, this book is so tense. Um, it's amazing. Like I said, I knew that it would start to come together because of things that I had heard about it. Tension is so real in this, and it makes my heart hurt. So there's that. I want to read more of it. I'm not caught up in this one either, but it's 8:30 and I need to go to bed. And I am actually kind of tired tonight, so yeah, I think I'm gonna give it up for tonight. I am on page 134. I was trying to get to 150, but 134 will do. Could I read 16 more pages tonight? Yes, but then it would probably be 9 o'clock. And I still have to wash my face and brush my teeth and all of that, which in retrospect, I should have done before I got in bed to read. Anyways, I'm going to go do that, and then I'm going to call it a night. tonight. Hopefully tomorrow will be less exhausting. It's now officially two completely different climates in our house. Upstairs is the Arctic because it is so frigidly cold up there. Downstairs, it's like the jungle. Because it's 76 degrees and kind of muggy. It's disgusting. I have a feeling that I'm going to be sacrificing my office to Justin. Because I just cannot fathom working in the basement for 8 hours. Like, that just seems miserable, and he is easily, like, he hates being warm, or he'd rather be cold over being warm. So, yeah. Foreseeing that he will take his laptop and plug into my docking station upstairs. It's so hot. It actually feels okay-ish in here right now, but like it's at 75 degrees and we have fans going. It's the only way that it's even manageable. Even Simon is not having it. This cat. That is the temperature in this house.
This is all you.
I'm not even sure you're going to be able to hear me over the fan, but it's almost 80 degrees in the house. As you will have seen, I spilled smoothie everywhere. I like shot smoothie in a 2-foot radius around the blender. To be fair, the normal blender cup that goes on there, the like square one that comes with the Blend Tech, you're not supposed to hold it down. Like, it literally says to let it rock back and forth, like that's part of how it works. But it has like a silicone top that squeezes down in there so it doesn't blow the top off of it. Not so with the smoothie blender, which also, the smoothie cup attachment, we've had that since we got the blender, and I had no idea that we had that, and I've been complaining about how badly that blender makes smoothies, and I was like, I don't understand why people love this blender. The smoothies are terrible out of this. Well, because I wasn't using the right thing. Because once I got it figured out, it was like, it worked perfectly, and it made like, there were no chunks of anything in there. It was great. But I had to clean all over the kitchen because I made a mess. Yeah. Anyways, so it's 7 o'clock, 7:15, whatever. And I am upstairs for the night because I can't go back down there. It is so hot. We have to make it through another day and another night. And then they're coming Friday at 8:30 in the morning. Gonna be the first thing they do in the morning to install the new compressor and test it and all of that. But it can't happen soon enough. Tomorrow we're gonna have to move all of Grayson's stuff upstairs so that my mom can hang out in the nursery with him. I guess towards the end of the day, as it got hotter, he got crankier. I think he was overheating, so yeah, we can't have that. Thank God we have 2 air conditioning units, because otherwise we'd have to take him somewhere, because he could not sleep in that heat. He would get ill, so. Our electricity bill is going to be outrageous. Anyway, so I'm going to watch some YouTube videos and play some Animal Crossing for probably an hour, and then maybe I'll read a little bit before I fall asleep. Just because my overheated self just needs some not reading time. Good morning, guys. It's still really hot downstairs. It's still really cold upstairs. One more day of this, and hopefully we'll have a house that is a consistent temperature. So this morning I became aware of the criticism and kind of, I guess, controversy around this year's reading rush. And I have to say I wasn't aware of it because obviously you saw my vlogs. It was kind of crazy having a baby thrown into trying to read. Definitely cuts down the time that you're interacting on social media. But I want to talk about it because I have gotten, probably the last 2 years, I've had kind of an icky feeling about some of the things that the reading rush as a whole does. And, I have no personal interactions with either Raylene or Ariel Bissett. So, I don't know what their intentions are. I don't know what I don't know what kind of people they are. But again, let me be very clear. It doesn't matter what your intentions are. The impact is what matters. And consistently, I've seen that the impact of the choices made on this readathon are not inclusive. So the whole point of them rebranding it as the Reading Rush was to make it more inclusive to all platforms. But at the same time, I feel like they don't do a good job, or the Reading Rush doesn't do a good job of being inclusive of all people. So one of the big things this year, obviously the biggest, is the live show, which I didn't watch. I was a little confused because a lot of people were saying, like, oh, they picked this book, they picked this book. I actually did hear about the group pick because I saw the initial poll that they posted. So they posted an initial poll saying, like, hey, we're going to have a group book, you guys choose it. So while they chose to put Such a Fun Age on the list of choices, they weren't the ones who ultimately decided which book to go with. And I don't remember all of the books that were on there, but I know that obviously Such a Fun Age. The House on Mango Street was one of them, which is the one I actually voted for. And then I think there were a couple of graphic novels. It was not a surprise when Such a Fun Age was picked to me because of its popularity right now, and really it felt like, other than House on Mango Street, the only book that was really very, like, much substance. So that would be something you could actually have a discussion about. But as it turns out, they apparently never intended to have a discussion about it because even though they knew well before the readathon started, because I feel like the book was selected like 2 weeks or something before. I don't know. I've already read it, so like I wasn't participating in the book club because I'd already read the book. And I saw the clip from where they said they didn't read it, and it was uncomfortable to watch. Like, I don't know how they thought that was okay, especially given the climate that we're in surrounding how publishing and, people treat Black authors and works of literature written by Black authors. And so, yeah, that was, I want to say disappointing, but also, like, I didn't really have high hopes for them. So I don't feel like I'm disappointed. I feel like I'm not surprised. So there's that. And then there are, on a different level, there's the fact that they chose to put in a prompt to read a book entirely outside of your home during a global pandemic. And then when they were criticized about it, they were very defensive in saying, like, oh, we thought of these prompts a long time ago, A, and B, you can just interpret it how you want to. Well, my response to the first is, if you thought about it a long time ago, then you had enough time to acknowledge that that this pandemic was getting worse, and that more and more cities are in lockdown, and mask space mandates were in place, and that was a challenge that was not okay. So, like, read the room, honestly. So I was annoyed at that.
And then the fact that they were like, well, you could just reinterpret it. Well, why can't you just come up with why didn't you come up with a new prompt? And also, like, stop being defensive. And the challenges I feel like have been problematic every year because every year they're just like silly, frivolous things. And they keep defending it like, oh, well, this is supposed to be fun. But you can make it fun and also make it a way to push boundaries for people, or you can make it so that you're encouraging all of these people that flock to this readathon to care about things other than books written by white authors within their own experience. So, like, cool, you had a prompt saying, read a book outside of your continent. But, like, for many Americans, that just meant they read a book set in the UK, which, guilty, I read a book set in the UK. I would have loved to have seen a prompt that encouraged everyone to read a book by someone of a different culture or race than you. Because by saying just a different continent than you, it still offers up the ability to read a book that is very much in your own experience. So, yeah, and they've been criticized on that multiple years in a row and have never addressed it. Like never I mean, they've addressed it by saying this is supposed to be fun, but hello, white bookstagram. Maybe it's fun for you, but it's not fun for your fellow bookstagrammers, booktubers, bloggers of color. So, yeah, I mean, all of that, and then the fact that they continue to partner with Book Depository, which is owned by Amazon. Again, in this climate where small businesses and independent bookstores are struggling, you couldn't have chosen a way to do that with independent bookstores. I understand that the hosts are from Canada and that bookshop.org doesn't ship internationally or to Canada. Yeah, Book Depository ships everywhere, but we want to support small businesses and we encourage you to shop your local bookstores. Like, you have a website, come up with a blog post that shows where you can buy books from small independent bookstores in various areas. Like, you've now made it so that this is a business for you, but you can't be bothered to put forth a little effort to support other businesses. That rubbed me really wrong this year. Like, in the environment that we are, putting another dollar in Jeff Bezos' pocket in the name of reading felt so inauthentic and so just, again, read the room. So that irritated me. And, the merch thing is what it is. Like, I don't begrudge them having merch, but I would say the majority of their posts that I saw on social media were related to their merch or trying to send people to their discount page on Book Depository, which they get money from. So it just, like, if you can't afford to do it like this, then just do it like every other readathon. It doesn't have to be some big production. And I feel like making it into a big production that you are asking people to spend money and you're aligning yourself with the wrong kinds of businesses is missing the point. Yeah. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on it. I don't know that I will participate in it again. We'll see. That's obviously an entire year away, and they have time to reflect. So we'll see how they respond to this criticism. I am now going to go read, eat my breakfast, which is probably cold now. But yeah, food for thought.
Grayson. Hey, Grayson. 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 Oh, you're good.
Well, it's holding at 78, so it still feels like lava down here, but it could be worse. Took a shower. Now I feel slightly better. I have a lunch meeting with all my coworkers. It's basically just like a Teams thing, that I'm logging into so they can see Grayson, because I go back to work a week from tomorrow, which is crazy. And also, I'm kind of excited. It'll be nice to have conversations with adults and have like a structure to my day again, because that's been probably the hardest part. Is like, there's lockdown, so like you can't really go anywhere, and so I feel like my day is so unstructured, and I've kind of tried to give it some structure with like reading, but still not great. So I'm looking forward to having that structure back in my day. So little man is down there entertaining himself on the floor. He just woke up from like, my mom, I guess, put him on the floor when I handed him off to her halfway through my lunch thing with my coworkers, and he just passed out. It was really hot down there, and his little cheeks were getting red. Like, I could tell that he was overheating, so I was like, yeah, okay, we're done. He's gonna go upstairs now, and I'll just stay and hang out. But that was a lot of fun. I got to see and talk to my coworkers, and they got to see him, and I got to see all their pets. And I'm definitely looking forward to going back and diving back in to my work and my projects and things like that. So that's good. I'm glad I feel that way. This morning, I don't know if I said, but I finished the book of Emily Dickinson poems, and there are some of her poems that I absolutely love, but like the vast majority are just sort of okay. I feel like I don't get the cadence of a lot of hers. Like, they just don't feel like they have a solid like poetic rhythm or anything. So I don't know. Yeah, and the last 60 pages being about death was something. I also finished Upright Women Wanted, which I am very pleased to say I loved. So I've not had the best experience with Sarah Gailey's books, but this was awesome. I was a big fan. I love that they include non-binary characters in all of their books, or at least all the ones that I've read, and yeah, very queer, very kick-ass, and a fun read. It's like, so it is kind of Western, but it's Western, like futuristic Western. So like basically if the society collapsed and we went back to basically a Western society. So it sort of reminded me a little bit in that aspect of Revolution, that TV show that I never finished. So yeah, but yeah, I really like this slim little book, and I can take it off my list. I think I've read something like total like 14 books this month, which I'm pretty sure is the most I've ever read in 1 month in my entire life. So that's crazy. Little man's getting feisty, so I'm gonna go play with him now.